Hey there, it's Bernardo, and you're watching Vibe Code Me. So for today, I have a video that I'm really excited. I was going to review more CLI tools. That was what I had in my pipeline for this week. But I decided to review something else because I truly think that this is a really interesting product. The product that we're going to be taking a look is Verdent AI. I don't know. But what I think it is really interesting is that they are trying to develop something for parallel agent execution. And you might say, hey, you know what? You can do parallel agents in a lot of places, but they require extra setup. Actually, by reading the README, I realized a bunch of interesting things that I didn't even knew were possible with Git. So the main problem of having multiple parallel agents is that then they can start overlapping with each other, right? The solution normally is like, oh, now we have these cloud things, and then we delegate, and everything runs on the cloud. Then each one has a clone of the PR. But then I realized they are using this thing called Git work trees, which was something that even with, I don't know, I have 15 years using Git or something like that, and I didn't even knew this was possible. So I was really happy to learn about it. So work tree is pretty much this way of Git to clone the same repository into another directory and create a branch from that. So I create a work tree. What it does, it creates a subdirectory, clones the whole repository into that and in another branch. So it's kind of like forking your code locally. And you can do. And then I started researching, and a lot of people do that to start like multiple Cloud Code agents, for example. And this is definitely something that I want to try. But what these folks are trying to do, they're trying to build a whole interface, a whole graphical user interface just for this. So they automate most of these things. I don't know how that's going to work out with like if you have like a Docker Compose that exposes in a specific port. Now the port is a shared resource in your computer. So maybe this is going to work better if you have like dev containers, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to see how I can take advantage of this even in our current environment. Like our current project for Expensify, we don't use dev containers. So I think the port might be a problem. But if I'm doing things like maybe I'm doing the front end and the back end separately, like mocking things, I don't know. We're going to have to figure it out. So yeah, so this is an interesting thing. Yeah, they do have a VS Code extension, but my understanding is that the VS Code extension is not as capable as the graphical interface. And yeah, it is. I'm gonna take a look at this, of course, but I think what I'm most interested about is this their own product. I think they are taking an approach kind of like what Warp is doing, where Warp is like, hey, we need to rethink the environment, the development environment for agents. And Warp had some of these things of multi agents, but as far as I know, it didn't integrate with this work tree idea. So yeah, I can start multiple agents, but I always felt like it was hard to because of these conflicts with the files or whatnot. So yeah, really excited to test that. I'm just gonna go ahead and install. It is a paid tool. Um, they do have this limited free trial. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but yeah, I have 100 credits. So I'm gonna use this free trial. I don't know if this 100 credits is gonna be enough for what we are doing here. But given that the $20 plan has 640 credits, I can imagine that a 1 day of coding should be enough with these 100 credits. Yeah, I don't know up until when this free trial is going to be available, but I'm going to take advantage of that, which is one of the reasons why I decided to do this first before the other CLI tools that I want to review. So yeah, without further ado, let's install it. So to install in VS Code, you can just search, and this is going to open VS Code Marketplace, and we can install the extension. I'm going to install just to have a look at the extension. But that's not the thing that we're most interested about. That will be the Mac app. So I guess this is just download the file. I don't like doing this like that, so what I'm going to check is if that is available on Homebrew. So I'm going to search for Verdent. Isn't that how it's called? Yeah, I don't think people. Maybe there's a tap. Yeah, someone maybe can do a tap. Verdent homebrew. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to install that way. Yeah, maybe I should create a tab to install this thing, to install this as a cask. But yeah, I'm just going to install this as it is. Yeah, so let's check that. So I'm going to install this. Oh, to the videos. Okay, so now I should have Verdant here. Open. Great. So this is installed. All right. And here in VS Code, we also have this thing here. So yeah, so this is the installation, quite easy. Now we need to set up our accounts. So to create my account, I'm going to start by coming here and, limited free trial. I'm going to sign in. I'm going to sign in with GitHub. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if I need to sign up to have the free trial. I guess. Yeah, I guess we are already in the free trial, I guess. So yeah, I'm just going to sign in. So we are signed in. I just confirmed. Yeah, so the interface here, there's modes. Okay, there's preset models. Okay, so this is a combination of okay, so they have what is the agent, the plan, and the chat. So balance is 4.5 Sonnet for both. The performance just increases the context limit. And efficiency is just Haiku for everything. And it uses GPT-5 for chat. Okay, so Haiku, yeah, they give you the credit usage. So this is quite a nice UI. And they do have some free things. So they have Minimax M2 here is free. I tested Minimax with client. It was really bad. So maybe I should give it a try here as well. Yeah, okay. That's the model that they have. Okay, and yeah, permission would do, yeah. Okay, so they have 3 levels of permissions. Yeah, and the mode is agent, plan, and chat. Okay, we can configure MCP. Yeah, I'm not going to be using this. I'm more interested in the web app. Sorry, in the desktop app. Okay, so this is to start new threads of this feedback. Okay, so all right. Rules. Okay, agents MD. They detect the agents MD. Can create different. Oh, we can have rules for plan and rules for user. So this is quite cool. Like in our case, we can say, hey, you need to put the markdown files here. We're not going to be using that too much. I don't want to go that deep because I want to compare the overall experience. But one thing that we're going to do different is that I'm going to set up the multi-agent thing. Okay, I also signed into the desktop app. I'm logged in. Okay, so in this desktop app, we can open projects. Okay. Okay, so I just added a node project here, Expensify Cloud Code as a project, so I can open it. Okay, so this is the interface when you open a project. Maybe can I make this bigger? I don't know if I can make this bigger. Yeah, I tried Command plus, maybe Control plus. I don't know. Yeah, it's not that easy to make this bigger. So sorry about that. But yeah, on the left, so it is this 3-pane setup. So the main thing here right now is the kind of like chat UI. Then we do have the files here. Let's see how the syntax highlight. So this looks a lot like Warp, right? Like the way it opens files. But this is looking a lot like VS Code based file editing, although a heavily customized one. But you can see by this map of the code here. Yeah, this seems like a lot like VS Code. So an interesting thing is that we have the tasks here. So I'm just gonna ask, I'm gonna use the efficient one. I'm gonna go with chat. Oh, here I don't have the chat mode. Okay. Um, list the. I'm going with haiku, just so I don't describe this project. Okay, so when we start a task, this comes here. Okay, so it didn't create a work tree right now. Okay. Okay, so this is where we create a new. So I can even execute the task in the main repository, or I can create, I don't know, change the UI to Mantine. Doesn't matter. I'm just gonna see how that goes. So yeah, when you do this, now I want to see like where this file is. Maybe if I come here. Okay. Okay. Okay, so it's in dot work trees. I never use git work trees. Okay, so dot work trees. Okay, so this is another git repository. So if I go here, then I can see git status, git branch. Yeah, so I'm on this other branch. Okay, that's interesting. I'm gonna stop that task so I don't waste too much thing. I'm gonna cancel this task. I'm gonna delete it. Okay, when I delete the session, it asks me if I want to delete the work tree, and I want to. All right, so yeah, I think that's the overall UI. Let's see what else we can check here. Yeah, let's see how we add context here. Oh, we can pass a sub agent. Oh, can we customize the sub agents? Okay, we can create sub agents. Okay, that's interesting. So I guess we can go on plan, say, hey, this is what I'm doing, then we can just ask the plan verifier and ask it to review that thing. Okay, files and folders, I think I can just, if I type probably out.test, yeah, we don't have that. Okay, what else we can see here? Okay, source control. Yeah, this is a really polished experience. Interesting. We can hide the chat. The chat. So this is so the chat is the main focus here. Yeah, and the tabs here are like different projects, I guess, and then this is the different tasks. Okay, that's interesting. I wonder if I can like create a new project from here. Yeah. I wanna let's go back to this project. I wanna check. User rules, permission. Yeah, how do I check the current? If I duplicate this, copy. If I rename this to agents.md. I want to understand like what is the context. Okay, we do have some commands. We just have compact and init. Yeah, it does seem that it relies on agents.md, but I don't know if it's gonna read claude.md. Other than that, let's see how we can create MCP servers. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna come here to this. Okay, so this is app-wide preferences. How can I do, project settings. Okay, so this is a project settings. Okay. Yeah, so this is where I can configure things. I don't think I can create MCP per project. Maybe I can. Maybe there's some obscure way of creating that. Let's read the docs. Products Verdent. Yeah, I guess they're probably taking the approach, which I think I see a lot of people going for, which is like leave MCP for external integrations, and then everything else you just create sub agents, or you just create like saved prompts. Okay, can I see the docs anywhere? Okay, I will just. Yeah, they have some quick MCP server configurations. But yeah, I think that's it. I think we can jump ahead and start the project setup and play a little bit with the way I'm thinking about structuring the. Yeah, I think we can start with the project setup. For the project setup, we're gonna, as usual, create a new repository here. I'm gonna call it Expensify Verdent. And wait. And as soon as this is done, I'm gonna clone. Right. I'm not gonna need this Ms thing, so we're not gonna be using because we're not gonna be using MCPs. I'm just gonna remove ms.toml. I'm gonna open this. Do we have a Verdent maybe? Yeah, it'd be cool to have like a alias, but I guess we can do open -a verdent.app and pass like this. Yeah, it didn't work. Yeah. So I'm just going to open that project here. Yeah, it'd be cool to have like a CLI tool, like code, so we can open. I'm not sure if they do have that, but I'm pretty sure it's easy to create one. I just never did it. So, okay, open project. Sorry, not here. Expensify. We need to find Verdent. Expensify. Okay, wait a second. Okay, so this is the directory. You can close this other project. And we are in the project. So what I'm gonna do, this AI here is gonna become rename. That's gonna become agents.md. I'm going to remove this thing here. On the package JSON, I will remove. Can I open? Okay, Command J starts a terminal. It doesn't have nursery fonts, and also I can't make this bigger. Yeah, it's small even for me. I'm sorry. Maybe I should change the resolution. Okay. I want to remove. Oh yeah, the TypeScript LSP is integrated directly into TypeScript. I don't need to do anything. Okay, so I think this is the project setup. So I'm just going to come here, going to test this interface for merging code. Yeah, looks a lot like. Okay, they do have a generate message. A generate message. I just want to see what it is. Yeah, that's not what I want. But I'm gonna sure setup project commit. Okay, I'm gonna sign this. Great, so you have the commit history. So this is how you can see the commits. Yeah. There's a diff visualization here, and I can change between unified and single line. That is a nice diff viewer. And I guess a good diff viewer is important for reviewing what the agents are going to be doing. So we're gonna now jump into plan mode. I'm gonna come here to plan. Yeah, okay. So yeah, let's jump into plan and let's plan the tasks. Okay, I was getting some coffee because I'm tired already. And I used the moment to reflect a little bit on how to plan for this task. And so that's gonna be interesting, right? Because it makes me think about planning slightly different than other things. You know how I don't know. A lot of people say, and I used to say that to people. Hey, you should learn Vim, not necessarily to replace your editor, because it makes you think about editing code differently. I always used to say that people should learn some programming languages, like Haskell or whatever, not necessarily to use that, but to change the way you think about programming. And I've been thinking that this tool made already created an effect in me that made me think differently about managing agents. And I know a lot of people are probably doing a lot of these workflows with other tools elsewhere, but just the way they created the interface made me think about how to organize my work different. And yeah, so this is going to be one of those videos that I'm going to do slightly different than I did the other things, because I want to take the most out of this multi-agent thing. This also might mean that this video is going to be shorter because I'm going to spend a lot of credits too fast, and then maybe it's not going to be worth upgrading. But yeah, we're going to see. So here's my idea. So my idea is normally I say, hey, don't do database design upfront. But in this case here, I might want to do this database design up front because I can run one single database and have all these other PRs doing changes to the code, but still connecting to the same database running on the same port, right? So because I'm working on this, I'm working this way, I actually might want to do all the database design up front, have one migration that sets up everything, and then have all these other tasks that I branch out and do all of that. So for example, I might start by just creating the organization part, replacing the whole posting, and then I can fan out and do, okay, now I do the UI for the organizations. Now I do this other thing. Now I can then branch out. So I'm gonna take planning slightly different here. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to start by copying the prompt that we used all the time. But again, I will make some changes. I'm just going to paste it here, see how that goes. So I can pass PRD main. I can pass /product here. And I can pass /tasks. Okay, so task doesn't show up here. I guess you can only you can only you can only organize the you can only pass things that have content in it. Okay, so I'm gonna say that, and I'm gonna start chatting in, and then I'm gonna adapt the plan, thinking about this parallelization of the process, right? So I'm gonna send the prompt as it is, but the way I'm gonna interact with it afterwards is gonna be slightly different. Okay, can we see the details? Okay, if you click on this working here, I think there's some extra. You can see the details. Okay, what it's running, it's searching files, it's reading tasks, architecture. Here's the model that is using. I mean, they do give a lot of detail. That's interesting. Let me get more coffee. Okay, I like these details, so I can click here to get extra details. Can I? Oh, I can see that. I can see everything. Okay, this UI is really good. All right. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so it does have. So I want to refine this, right? Yeah. So again, I normally say no to this schema design and implementation, but I will say yes. I mean, I do think that org management should. Okay. Okay. Let's. Okay. We need to do. Okay. Let's do some things differently. Differently. First, we already have authentication with magic code set up in the code base. The first step should be to create the org management structure. The org management structure with the whole database design. We want to do this together because we should also remove the placeholder post model. But we want to look into post.test as an example on how to do transactional testing. Maybe we want to also create a shared Vite test setup file for the server tests, the RPC routers, such that the calls to v.mock for out and db, which sets the transactional db testing, is done for all tests. After we've replaced the database schema and created the org router with org creation alongside some minimal UI to create an org, we can, alongside removing the rest of the references to post, we can then start on. So I'm going to put more emphasis on this planning phase. So the shift here is that instead of thinking about do this test and do this test and do this other task, I'm thinking about like this is the whole project that I want to do. And honestly, we should do that all the time, even for the other tools. But again, I want to test the Moody agent thing. We can start on creating the routers. To enable parallelization of work, we should also separate creating the routers and the routers and the UI part. We might need to, but before we can do all the UIs, we should also set up a base UI structure with a few app shells, a landing page, a org specific shell, and a non-org specific shell. That way we can shell, the org specific shell should have an org selector that redirects to the proper org root /org/id/dashboard. And it should have a sidebar menu with all the important pieces. Now we should have the non-org specific shell is for the cases where the user doesn't have an org yet, or for user specific pages. One example that we will have is when the user first signs in. He needs to be able to list the organizations, and then organizations, create new orgs, and navigate to them. Okay. The landing page right now can be just simple and with a button that reads either login or go to app depending on op status. So one of the tasks should be about setting up the base UI structure with some placeholder pages. Not all pages, just to give some examples. Technically, we should be able to do this UI structure even before the org. Yeah, let's see what it thinks about how to structure that. Yeah, what I'm expecting is a task graph that is slightly more parallelizable. So we do have this first step, and then we can go, okay, this is the UI part. and then we can do all the routers because the database is done initially, so we don't need to wait until one of the routers, like we don't need to wait until the policy router is done before we, like the category router is done before the policy router is done, because the model should be done already. Yeah, see, we shouldn't need to depend. We shouldn't need to depend on other routers to create one of them, because the data model should be created already, and the tests should be setting the DB state by inserting to the database itself. Well, each test can define its own test factories for dependent resources. For example, we should be able to create the policy router in parallel with the category router, because the database model will already be there. This will allow us to parallelize the work even more. Only the UI part for each thing might depend on one or more routers, because the user journey might need to be there so we can test. For example, we might need to already have the melody. I was checking the credits, and I already used 9 of the 100 credits. But I'm using Cloud Sonnet on UltraThink, so I think this displays rule. Okay, you can see the context. The context here is using the 100K context. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look at this now. Okay, so this is the foundation. Then we do the base shell. Then task 3 should depend on task 1. Yeah, so all these routers should depend on the database schema. And then, yeah, UI should depend. Yeah, so what I'll be doing is I'm gonna like be picking up. So I'm gonna do this, then this, So I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna start like doing like 3 of these tasks just to see how it goes. Perfect. Oh, okay, so satisfied with the current plan. Approve. Okay, so that's what I was actually. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking about switching to haiku to then go ahead and write the tasks. Okay, that was quite cool that it did that automatically. That's amazing. Okay, I really like that experience is been great so far. I don't know how well that's gonna go, but just like I think Kiro was another of these tools that made me think a lot about spec driven development. I honestly think that Kiro was even better than using like I use GitHub spec kit, and yeah, I think Kiro was a much better experience. Like the way they were tying the interface and the flow. So yeah, I like that. Okay, why I can see the file changes. Docs, tasks. Oh, okay. Ah, yeah. So this was just not updating. Okay, let me view the. Can I see the unified view? Okay, I'm just gonna look at the docs here. Tasks. Okay, foundation tasks. I wonder if we could use like these tasks. Yeah, maybe a cool thing would be to be able to, create all the tasks here and then have a button to execute them. So Kiro had if they combine something like this with something what like Kiro had, where they had the tasks, the I forgot how they call it, but the execution units, and then they had like a run button, right? So if I go just hey run in a work tree. Uh, okay, I wonder if I should just pick like a. Oh, that's not what I want. Like maybe I can just use this, right? Because it has like it has everything like yeah, I wonder if I should use that or Shadcyan. Shadcyan, I had some problems setting up with this. Okay, I'm gonna leave as it is. Gonna come here, gonna stage everything, and I'm gonna do docs, plan, tasks. Okay, that's it. Let's start with the first task. Okay. Yes. So, oh, interesting. They had this generate code review. Okay. Now I'm gonna start a new task, and I'm gonna go with Claude Sonnet 4.5, but without the ultra thing. And I'm gonna say, let's implement task 001. And I'm just gonna go with that. And I'm not using the work tree approach. We're gonna see that soon. Okay, so it does have like to dos thing. Okay, that's cool. In the meantime, I'm gonna do things that I know I need. Kimi CLI, Docker, compose, down, pop D. I'm gonna come here, Docker composer dash D, and yeah, this should be enough. I think it was not what it was trying to do. How do I change how much I do accept? So the VS Code option I think had more fine grained control. But here I don't think I can change. It's just like it's okay. I'm scared. Yeah, so the VS Code felt more like a pair programming tool, which I think is fair. By the way, uh, let me open VS Code. Yeah, so let me disable the other extensions while we do this. So I'm going to disable this. Also, go to Gen. I'm going to disable this and restart extensions. Okay. Yeah, so the VS Code had more like controls like this. Also had more models. I guess they are optimizing for different things, right? I guess this is mostly like a pair program sidekick kind of thing, while this is a different type of environment. And honestly, I like this, but I guess it's gonna be similar to what we already have in other tools. So this is more exciting, even though I'm a little bit scared. Like I'm just gonna wait until this is done. Uh, Yeah, the visibility of like what it's doing is good, but there's no like interaction. I guess this first step maybe I should have done in the VS Code extension, like pair programming. Okay, let's take a look. API. Well, it doesn't seem to have that. Okay, PM. I like the how it says. Why it doesn't have the. And why this is. Okay, this is bad. I wish I could zoom in. But yeah. PM. Okay, I'm just gonna. Let me first check the schema. Prisma, schema, Prisma. Yeah, so this is not like a. Okay, I think, yeah, let's go schema, Prisma here. See what they've done. So create an organization. I mean, why they change this? They shouldn't change this, right? I mean, I don't know why would. I don't know if this does anything, but yeah. This is a new line, okay. Right. Okay, so organization have multiple memberships, categories, policies, and expenses. A membership has a role, which can be admin or member. And just organization and user ID, that's all. And then it's unique between org and user. Then we have an expense category, which has a name, a description, which is optional. Then organization ID, and then policies and expenses that are connected to that. So a policy has a period which is either monthly or yearly, which is required. There's an auto approve. Then there is organization ID category, organization category, and then user is optional. Okay. So I guess when the user is new is the org wide. Okay, the expense is now model expense. That is going to be you have an amount, date, status, description, and then org, user, and category. So pretty much like the policy. Does it have a policy that was the expense review? That's more complicated. There's this whole thing here. Whatever. Yeah, I'm not sure how the expense review would work, but I think this is fine. Let's now run this. Oh, we haven't done that. That's probably the reason. Okay. But yeah, it doesn't seem to have the organization. Sorry, server, API, router. Yeah, it does have. Okay. There are some issues with this. Okay. can we? Okay, I don't know how to run a shell command, but yeah, I'm just gonna come here and do pnpm test reset. Then I'm gonna do pnpm test. Yeah, so it's not mocking the out thing. So yeah, it just didn't. Yeah, I haven't done the thing correctly. It forgot the v.mock. How was the? Yeah, I need to check the history. Post test. Yeah, I need to do this. So I'm gonna fix some of this stuff. Wait a second. Okay, so and that's also now how you do it. So yeah, what I will do is I will have, so this is gonna become rename. Okay, these are some useful factories. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to move this to new file, sorry, new folder, test. How are we currently doing the mock? Okay, so I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna create a new folder, I'm gonna call this, and just hit ts config. So I do have, okay, so I'm just gonna come here, I'm gonna go new folder, I'll do test, and I'm going to move this guy to test. I'm gonna rename this to factories, and this that's gonna be /test/factories. Okay, and I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna create a setup files. That's gonna be vtest.server.setup.ts. Yeah, probably should. And now I'm just gonna duplicate. New file, I'm gonna call vtest.server.setup.ts. And this, I'm gonna do this. Actually, I'm gonna do this. And I'm gonna do this. And that's it. And this is gonna set up transactional testing. And this is gonna mount the alt module. And now I should be able to run pnpm test. That's perfect. Okay, all right. Okay, I now just need to npm lint dash dash fix. Okay, so I can remove this now. Which means I can remove this. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. But here I need to do it before. Yeah, I'm just going to make sure that one mock from one test doesn't interfere with the others. So npm, yeah, also I'm gonna go to package and test. I'm gonna do run. I'm gonna do npm test. Great, so if I go to app, components, yeah, that's done. Layout, yeah, I removed all the post stuff. Perfect. API, routers, organization tests, okay. Yes. Okay. Had to do a few changes, but now tests are passing. Sorry. I guess here's where the fun shall begin. I mean, this delete me post should be deleted as well. Yeah, I'm gonna delete this myself. And let's see how the... Okay, I wanna see... Okay, I can see the changes. Oh, I need to... Okay, the changes are on each of these things. Okay. Okay, that's not what I want. How do I stop that? I don't want this to run. How do I stop this? Yeah, I mean, how do I do it? Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's not great. Okay. Okay, yeah, the interaction between human and agent is still not there. Like the UX is not perfect, but yeah, okay. I'm just gonna do feat task one done. Okay, I'm gonna come here. Now I'm gonna use the generation thing here and to generate a... Okay. Great. I'm gonna sync changes just to have that on the repository. Okay, I'm gonna push that. And as soon as we're done, we are ready to start multiple tasks. Okay, let's start the next tasks. So here's where the fun will begin. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start a few tasks. All right. Uh, and I want to, I want to go on. So this is weird. I want to go on plan and then execute the plan, even though we already have a task. So yeah. So here's the idea. All right. So I'm gonna say, let's implement task 00. So I don't want to do that here. I'm gonna do this task. So that's gonna be task 3. I'm gonna start task 3. First, I want to plan, and then I want to change to implementation. And I want to start a new task. I'm gonna start with plan, and I do let's do task 002. Oh no, that's not what I want. Okay, cancel. I'm gonna drop this. Okay, sorry. Task 003. I want to do that in a new work tree. I want to see how that goes. Same for here. I want to do. Let's do task 002. I'm gonna do on a work tree. Nice. Oh, that's not what I want. Okay, sorry. Delete work tree. I want to go and plan first. Okay, new work tree. Let's do task 002. I'm gonna go and plan first. And let's do another router, but that one I'm gonna skip the plan just to see how that goes. So let's do task 004. And I'm gonna go straight into policy management. Okay. Now I have 3 parallel tasks running. And I guess now we just wait until this thing is plans everything properly. Do I have? I think it would be cool to have maybe a nice. Oh, okay. So, okay, it already supports. Interesting. So this already supports. So the get the VS Code source control thing already supports multiple things. I wonder if there's an easy way to look at a specific thing. I mean, I can just come here and check the. There are like a nice work tree. Yeah, I don't think anything here like. Yeah, okay. Okay. Oh, so we see we do have. Okay, so these 2 folks are stopped. They have a plan, and I can review the plan. Okay, let's see the category router because that's probably easier. So create category router, implement 5 procedures, query all categories for organization, category array, get by ID, create mutation. That is cool. I mean, this is like something that I should refactor eventually. Okay, I'm satisfied with this plan. Base UI structure. So this is going to be more interesting. Okay. Non-org shell. Okay, I think I like that. Let's go with this. So now I have these three agents running. Okay, this is wild. Okay, this is vibe coding on steroids. Like this is I feel so this is dangerous, but at the same time it's exciting. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. It's like delegating tasks. I know a lot of you are like, oh, I've been doing that for forever. And you can do that with background agents. But yeah, I do like, and what I do like is that these things are here in my computer, which means I. Oh, what is it already done? Okay, let's see the changes then. Okay, so you added the policy router. That's good. Um, Policy test. What happens if I open a? Okay, if I open a terminal, it goes straight into here. So I can do pnpm test maybe. Uh, okay, I need to speed out m.example, and then I can do pnpm test. Oh, I need to do pnpm install as well, I guess. Okay, then I can do pnpm test. Okay, so this is running. That's cool. Okay, while this runs, I can take a look at this. It is reusing the factories. I think then it's probably inserting things into the factories. Yeah, so this is likely going to create some conflicts. But yeah, this should be fine and easy to reconcile. But that's the cool thing. Like, while I'm doing this, there's other two tasks running. Okay, create, update, input. I mean, I'm probably setting myself to integration hell right here. But this is what I mean. This is how work is, right? When you try to parallelize work at a company, then you normally trade, everything being cohesive and easy to test and verify to now you have to integrate with all of that. But yeah. Yeah, you know what I feel like? I feel it would probably be better to always receive the org ID in all the queries. So I don't have to first find the policy and then find if I have access. I can always verify the access right away. And then I can search for the policy, including the org ID. But yeah, I think this is just a minor detail. I'm happy with that. So I'm gonna ask for a code review on this to see what the AI thinks about it. That's crazy. AI is reviewing AI code. So yeah, the tests all passed. Yeah, okay. This is not okay. Yeah, we don't need to do this. Can I add it here? No, this is a read only. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna ask you to fix the issues. Okay. The mock thing is not really an issue, but the mock line isn't necessary because it is automatically done by server setup. However, how we set up the schema, by the way? So policy max amount, okay, is int. Yes, the amount is int. Other than that, you can fix the issues with the exception of the pagination filtering, since this was not a requirement. And wait a second, isn't the policy the uniqueness check for policies can be done later? Also, maybe write to agents RMD the tips about how to test things. Okay, I'm gonna do this here. All right, I'm gonna jump to this other task and I'm gonna review. Okay, so this is crazy. Like I now have all these things going on and it's insane. Okay, so yeah, pnpm install cp.m.example.env and I'm gonna do pnpm dev here. I'm gonna go localhost 3000 and I'm gonna try to go through the login flow. Okay, that's the landing page. Example.com, localhost 8025. Let me minimize this. Okay, we have the go to app. The Edge runtime doesn't support Node.js string module. I have no idea. Okay, let me just do another check here. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna say we have an error when logged in the app. Logged in and after clicking go to app. Okay, I'm gonna take a look at policy management soon. Oh, I haven't. The expense. Okay, let's see the step changes. Agents. Okay. Okay, I'm do npm check. And now I do have, okay. Okay, I think this is good. Okay, so how do I commit this now? I'm gonna come here, gonna generate this commit. How do I merge this now? Oh, I can create a PR. Can I easily merge things into main? Okay, yeah, merge to main. Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna merge to main. Okay, let me go and come here. Git status. Okay, git commit -m ignore work trees. Ignore work trees. All right, and now I should be able to merge the main. Git status git lng. Okay. Okay, yeah, it didn't merge. Um, did it rebase? Okay, I'm confused on what this. Okay, but we do have everything here now, right? So come here, I do have policy. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's check this. Okay, let's pnpm dev. Let's come here again. Yeah, I'm gonna have to jump in. Okay, so let's see how I can jump in here. So I'm gonna come to source app. Yeah, this seems weird. Um, Okay, I'm gonna read docs next. Out middleware example. Which version are we are? We are, by the way. Package JSON. Next out. Okay, we're in 5. Okay. Maybe we need to read the next out with 5 docs. Yeah, by the way, I wish I used better alt. It's much better, but yeah. Now that we're here, middleware. Okay. I'm going to. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. It still doesn't work. Let's drop the middleware approach and instead have each page checks authentication with await out. It's like we're doing the root thing, right? Sorry. We can probably leverage layout.ts files to reuse the behavior to check for authenticated sessions. Yeah, so while these things try again, let me just stop the server here. I'm gonna come here, so I'm gonna review this. So I'm gonna do npm install. And I'm gonna do cp.example.env, and I'm going to do npm test. See the tests pass, and I'm gonna review the changes. So step changes. Okay, so this is the updates. Added the thing to the root. Right. Yeah, this didn't do the mistake of setting up the database mock. Yeah, I'm not. Okay, I'm YOLOing it. Okay, it didn't add any factories, which I think is good. So I guess the get by ID just creates the not here the test. I think the list probably just creates stuff, right? Yeah, it has. Oh yeah, that was already on the factory. That's why I didn't add anything. Okay. All right, so this seems good. I'm just going to do a code review generated by AI again. Let's go back to this. Okay, let's see the step changes. So, yeah, if not session, redirect. That's great. It's much better. What is this layout client thing? Is that even a thing? Yes, layout client. Yeah, it probably just wraps. Yeah, org layout client. Yeah, so this is just use with the alt part. Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, shouldn't we have the hydrate client? Okay, yeah, the children is gonna be the one to have the hydrate client part. Okay, let's do PNPM dev and see if finally we can see the orgs. Source app. We don't have a page. Oh, it's because on. Where is the root? Where's the slash app slash organizations page? All I can see is. I guess probably this changes here. Is a layout, but no page.tsx. Okay, I've run out of credits already. I will get more credits. I'm excited. I want to continue with that. 1 second. All right, added more credits and asked it to continue. So here, the expense management. Yeah, I think this was good. I now didn't I ask for a code review? I thought I asked for a code review. The code review is done. Okay. Yeah, this should be. There's no must fix. So no must fix. I'm just gonna approve it. So merge to main. Hit cancel. Let me see what I have here. If. Oh yeah, I want to. I forgot to generate the message. This is great. Like I'm like really like just this is really vibe coding. Like I don't know if I like this. I don't know. It's weird. Okay, merge the main. Okay, I need to sync the things to resolve the conflicts. Sync from main. Okay. How do I even do this now? I git base git merge main maybe. Okay. Yeah, the conflict on API root. So I just come here, API. Can I do like command P? No, I don't have a command P. Okay. Yeah, actually, I think I can just do this, open a new VS Code, and then I can go to, to the conflicts. Yeah, okay. So accept both changes, and that's it. And commit. All right, and now I can close this. And now I can merge to main. That's great. Okay. I don't know why I can't see that thing then. Like why I can see. Okay. Yeah, all right. Why then I'm. Okay, I'm gonna go with haiku. And if I restart it, okay, so we're done with these two things. I'm gonna just wrap this up, and then I'm gonna start more tasks. Okay, this is okay. I'm just going to come here, rename this, and call this app. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go into the idea that I that is not my editor. That's kind of like that's my GitHub. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna come here, edit this manually here, rename. I'm gonna call this app, and then I can do npm dev, and then I can check. Yeah, I don't know why it added the parentheses thing. Okay, so let's test, create new organization, my org, create organization, nice, create new organization, another org, create new organization. That's amazing. Yeah, for whatever reason, yeah, it doesn't load this properly. Yeah, there are some bugs, but we can fix that later. I mean, this looks good already. Okay, I like this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna come here, gonna stage everything. Then I'm gonna come, yeah, this is weird. I'm gonna leave this. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna leave this. Now I'm gonna come here and I'm going to do this. Then commit. And I'm gonna try to sync merge to main. Yeah, okay, let's resolve the conflicts. Code dot. So I'm gonna do git merge main. Merge the main. Okay. All right, so we are in a good position. Okay, so when I come here back to this, should I clear up the, yeah, I do have some work trees here. But yeah, this is the state of my project. I can git status, git log, and have this crazy merge things. I should be doing rebases though, but yeah, whatever. Okay. I mean, squashing. I wish I was doing like squash merges. I mean, if I was doing like PRs and whatnot. I'm gonna push this to main, to the origin. Sorry. Oh. How come this? Okay. Good. Pull. Good push. I don't know. Okay, that thing is weird. Okay. Yeah, some UI quirks here. Okay. So now we do have the tasks. We did task 1, 2, 3, and 4. What I'm not seeing here is invitation. So I just realized that we're missing invitations. So I'm gonna go to plan, and I just realized we never planned invitations. Check PRD main and tasks, and create a new task for invitations, and create new tasks for invitations. I'm gonna do another thing for invitations. Both UI, one for router and another for. Oh, but we don't have invitations in the data model. Yeah, this was an oversight. One for router and an router plus DB, and another, and one for the UI. Okay, while this plans, I'm just gonna implement all the other routers. So I'm just gonna come here. Oh, I'm using Haiku. Okay. Yeah, new task. I'm gonna go back to Sonnet, and I'm gonna. Yeah, honestly, I think we can just do. Let's do. Yeah, that's gonna be in a workspace. In a workspace, sorry. Let's do task 005. So I will. Yeah, the task 005 is being done. I'm gonna come here. Let's do task 006 in a new work tree, and go to new task. Let's do task 007. Yeah, let's do the task management UI already. Work tree. And let's come here and let's do task 008. Expense category is also done. So we can do that. And we can come here and we can do task 009, policy management UI. And that should be good enough. So let's see this plan. Perfect. Add to the repo. Oh, I can only run 5. Okay, we hit a concurrency limited. That's good that we try that. So I can only run 5 concurrent tasks. And I think now we just wait. I think I'm gonna get more coffee or something. Yeah. So, but I think the workflow here is like with delegate, we let it run. When it finishes, we go in and then we do code to or whatever editor you're using, like Z or whatever. Then you go and then you review it, and then you test things, and then you play around with it, and then you fix potential issues. Then you merge, and then you keep going. I'm not sure whether this is more productive because I don't think I'm doing more work than I. Yeah, maybe I am. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah. Let's see how is the state in the end of the video. But I mean, I spent through a lot of credits, and I think I'm gonna probably use like $20 of things. And yeah, this is more hands off. So I guess this compares more to like background agents, like delegating PRs and whatnot, which I will do a new video about it probably this weekend even. So yeah, so different strategy. So yeah, let me get some coffee and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back and we do have 2 tasks that are ready. So I'm gonna review it. Yeah, I'm gonna go step changes. Review router was added. Then, yeah, this is the test. So let's see. Okay, yeah, just added the router. And again, I probably would waste like more time reviewing this thing, and likely you should have like a something reviewing this code, like another AI, just so it can be fast. All right, but let's take a look. Yeah, what I'm gonna do code again. I'm open this here, and I come here, go to server API routers view. I'm gonna do fold level 3, and then I can read at least the things and I just see what's being tested. So approve should allow admin to approve submitted expense. Yeah, by the way, let me run npm install. I guess this is like, if you set up CI, you should probably just open a PR automatically. So the test would run in CI, and then it would just be reviewing the code, right? npm cp.env npm test. They should allow admin to approve submitted expense. So the idea is that admins are the ones that approved. Okay, should allow admin. Should not allow non-admin. So create test user, create test user, create test organization, create test category. I don't know how this is set up. Yeah, this likely should be using like Faker, but yeah. Okay, he's adding the user to that, and only admin can approve expenses. So that's cool. Yeah, the test pass. Yeah, this seems good enough, honestly. So yeah, just gonna close this. Going to here, save everything, generate commit, work tree, merge to main. Okay, everything else is done. And okay, let's continue here. Add to the repo. Oh, by the way, let's move to agent, and yes. Okay, so this is merged already. Expense submission router, and we just need to come here. Okay. Yeah, so let's do code npm install, and we can review the changes here. Yeah, we can also review things here. So this is acting, I feel like this is acting kind of like a GitHub alternative. Let me drink some water. Okay, this is fine. Expense test, expense, okay. Let's just look at the expense test. Again, for level 3. Status be submitted, status to be approved. Yeah, again, I'm just gonna trust this. This looks good. I'm gonna create a commit, but then we likely need to git rebase main, and root is gonna have a conflict. Gonna accept both changes, and then we can come here to git you can add this and commit, prove, and now we can arc3 merge the main. Okay, let's go here. Okay, wait a second. Oh, dash continue. Okay, now if I do this, then I should be able to come here, expense submission router, and then merge the main. Okay, perfect. All right. This is a lot of things are happening too fast. So I'm gonna merge the main, commit changes, merge the main. Perfect. Again, I'm not even checking things, but yeah. So let's go first with the org management UI. I'm going to oh wait, do we already have the invitation? Maybe that was part of this task and I didn't realize. So yeah, let's do code dot. Yeah, I'm gonna close the other. So pnpm install cp.example.env pnpm dev. Okay, let's go here. Okay, what are these changes? Source, app, orgs, settings. Oh, there's a settings page. Okay. Okay. Oh, someone at example.com. Oh, maybe we already had the invitations and I just didn't realize. Okay, so the user needs to register first. Okay, let's just test this. So localhost, yeah, someone at example.com, localhost 8025, go to app. Now I should be able to send invitation. Oh, the invitation. Yeah, there's no invitation flow. Yeah, the user is automatically added to the organization. Okay, this is good enough. We planned the invitation. I'm going to take a look at that later. Probably not today, but yeah. Yeah, this is good enough. Oh, I have this thing running since yesterday. Okay. All right. And by the way, let's see if I can go to settings. Yeah, I just can see just the details. That's amazing. Okay, so I think this is good enough. The org management UI. I'm gonna do pnpm test. I don't think we broke anything. One thing that I forgot to run is a lint. I just open another pnpm check. Yeah, I'm just going to. So yeah, the way that I would probably do this is that I would use like another agent. Like if I'm going to use Verdent here. So I think it's a good time to test this. So terminal. Okay, I cannot pass this. So yeah, this is not like a great I'm just gonna send this. I want to see how that goes while that runs. So our management UI is pending. I can come here. Okay, I'm gonna take a look at this afterward. Let's just stop and review all the code for a second. Okay, so this is how the changes go. Okay, let's see the diff. Oh, okay, yeah, whatever. I'm just going to. Okay, let's see the changes here. You can see the changes. And yeah, I guess we need to fix this. I'm just gonna do git add dot. Okay, gonna close this because we tested it already. I'm gonna close. Gonna come here. Gonna create this. Gonna stage everything. Generate the message. Commit. Gonna do git rebase main. And now I can push. Where's the main? Perfect. Now we can check the expense category UI. Yeah, this is wild. I just want to check how many credits I used. Okay, I used 200 credits. So the plan for the $20 plan gives you 700 credits. So yeah, it's I spent some dollars already. But yeah, okay. Again, I'm gonna try to do this slightly. Okay, so I'm going to first. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna commit. This is the thing that the bot did. The agent done. Yeah, so I'm gonna commit this. Then I'm going to do npm install. The other one, I'm going to see how the create PR works. So, and I'm going to do cp, and I'm going to do npm dev. I'm just going to review, see how that goes. Not even going to open. So this is what, again, this is the expense category. So I guess we'll come here to expenses. I didn't merge, that's why I don't have the settings. So create our first category. So I'm going to go all this travel. This is going to be, flights, cabs, hotels, etc. Yeah, it is not invalidating things. So yeah, I think the flow. I'm going to do Z. I like Z. So I'm going to go to category page. So this new thing it should invalidate, right? So API dot. How do we invalidate again? Reduce. Yeah, we need to do the reduce thing. That's interesting. Okay, so I need, use it to use. Yeah, okay. So post choose API dot use it use choose, and then I can come here and do the choose dot API. Sorry, the choose dot category dot list dot invalidate, and I need to do void and with that the npm dev, I can come here and I guess if I reload this, create category, I can create category office supplies like papers, pens, pencils, clips. Okay, I can create category and automatically invalidates. I guess there's going to be like a lot of like UI refinements that are going to be needed. Okay, so this is good. So I'm just going to come here, generate commit message, but using Z. We're using all the AIs. I could have just typed fit categories, invalidate category list, cache after creation. Hit commit, and I'm going to do a rebase. Okay, git rebase main. Okay, no issues. So I'm gonna stop my session. I guess now this is just one thing. I wanna check that when it runs with both, that I have both the settings and the category pages. Okay, perfect. That's amazing. Okay. All right. So now I'm gonna create a PR. Just want to see how that goes. Okay. By the way, let me just come. How to go to okay, new task. And come here to git push. I'm gonna push main. Now I want to go back to expense categories and I want to create a PR. Just want to see how that goes. Yeah, something was off. Yeah, the compare thing was wrong. Yeah, see, like it was not using that branch name. Let me try it again. Let me click here, create a PR. Yeah, like what is even this thing being selected? Yeah, so this is bad. So honestly, I think you're better off just coming here and using like if you do a git push, push the branch, and then you just use like hub, a PR, create, and do feat. Yeah, I know this thing is bad. Okay, let me just. So I'm just going to pwd. I'm going to copy this. Yeah, this terminal is really bad, so at least it's going to be a little bit bigger. But yeah, what I would do is that I would do g8 pr create, and I'll do feat categories, category management UI. Just like I would do with anything else. I mean, I think if you're not like with other folks working on this, you don't need to. I'm gonna skip, gonna continue in browser, and then you have this much better. And then you can create a pull request here, and yeah. So I don't think that create pull like that thing was bad. Okay, I'm just gonna merge this. Yeah, I'm gonna do question merge. But yeah, okay. Let's come here back to the new task. So this new task is also a way to go back to the root. So I'm going to do git pull. And yeah, let's go to the policy management UI. And I'm going to, again, npm install. Yeah, let me commit things, by the way, commit everything. And I should be reviewing things, but I am running against the clock here. Yes. Commit. Sorry, I'm drifting away. It is too intense. We're doing a lot of code. We're generating like a lot of code, but I'm not I'm not reviewing this thing. I mean, if you're like totally vibe coding, like really, like I just want to build this prototype, I think this idea is crazy. It is great, but for anything else, the bottleneck is not creating the code; is like reviewing things. Okay, this is exhausting. So cp.m.example. Let me also do a git base main. We already have the conflict. Yeah, let me do code dot. So I reveal the conflicts. Okay, it had to add a new thing. Okay, wait a second. What is the difference between this and this? Right? Like, whoa. Okay, so probably it was done in a different thing. Okay. I think this approach is better. So I want to set the incoming change. I think this is better. Like just return that there instead of having another thing. Okay. So this likely means that get current membership. Okay, so I'm just going to get by ID. And it's going to be ID. And then we can do current user membership is membership. Okay, wait a second. Wait a second. Data dot. Oh. Okay, you know what? I can make this better. I can come here and just do include, and then I'm gonna do organization, and then I'm gonna do include memberships, include user too. I know this is kind of weird, but yeah, this means that now I can just do membership yeah, just gonna do okay. So I'm just gonna do const organization current user membership. Gonna come from membership. And then I just do this. So now I can just do current user membership, right? Okay, wait a second. So data.current user membership. How come this is now? Sorry, TS server. Yeah, okay, this is, that's better, but I'm just gonna do const membership. It's gonna be data current user membership. And yeah, that's gonna be same thing. Const membership gonna be data current. That's gonna be get by ID, and that's gonna be just ID, and this is current user membership. Again, we can likely do that in a better way. But yeah, it's gonna be get by ID, and that's gonna be ID, and we're gonna have data, and we're gonna have const membership equal data dot current user membership. Yeah, not the best. I'm gonna remove this. 2025. Yeah, okay, you know what? I'm just going to drop this. So get current membership is not an issue anymore. And I can do git. I can come here and do this and do this. And then I can commit and approve. And I can do npm test. And also npm dev. And I can test the policy UI. expenses policies, create our first policy, user specific. Let's do a category. Okay, travel. I'm gonna do 1,000. Let's do 1,052. I'm gonna just do 1,000, and period gonna be monthly. Auto approve, compliant expenses. Yeah, let's do that. Create policy. So now, yeah, you don't have the invalidate thing. I want to check one thing. So I want to come here, do PM, Prisma, DB Studio. Look, and I want to see the policy. Yeah, it is properly setting up the, it's using cents. Okay, this is good. The tests passed. That's great. And yeah, let's just go ahead and yeah, last but not least, I want to come to policies page, and yeah, we need to use a tool here. Post tools api.use the tools, and we can come here and we can do tools.policy.list.invalidate, and oh, sorry, we shouldn't have done that. Continue. Okay, let me just roll back this for a second. Keep the base continue, and then I can put this back in, and I can do git commit -m fix invalidate policy list after creation. Okay, and if I test this again, if I come here, create policy, let's go office supplies. Let's do 50, 50.50. Let's do monthly. We'll create policy. How to approve no. All right. And then for the someone office supplies, it can spend 100 monthly without approve. Okay. Let's see if we can add it. So I'm gonna add that to. What happens if I put like this? Okay. That's really good. Oh, we have the bug policies. So office supplies, reserve policy. But if it's someone, that's nice. This is why it's really good. Okay, this is crazy. All right. What are we missing now? Okay, I think the dashboard. We likely should redo the dashboard. Categories, policies, and then expenses is the thing that we need to do in reviews, right? So let's just ship that. Okay. So I think this is good enough. Let me just check this. Okay, we can close. Let me just close this so I don't have any. Yeah, okay, can close this, go back here, let's merge the main, and great. So we're gonna start a few new tasks. So first I'm gonna do, yeah, what tasks do we currently have? So yeah, new work tree, and I want to do, let's do task 10. I can configure the work tree setup script. What is that? Oh, that's nice. npm install cp.m example dot env. That's crazy. I like this. Okay. Okay, so now the challenge is that likely if I come here, I do have git status. Where is the... Yeah, where does that setting lives though? Let me just do git push as well. Yeah, so let's start test 10. Let's go back to here, new work tree. Let's go, let's do task 11. New task, let's do task 12. Yeah, task 13. I mean, almost, okay, we're almost done. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait until this is done and we're gonna be right back soon. Okay, I got a little bit carried on. I was reviewing the footage and it's been already 2 hours of coding. I think this experience of like delegating to agents and then reviewing things just got me into a focus state. So I'm gonna wrap the video now. Actually, I'm gonna leave these two things running so you can check in the code base afterwards. Yeah, just gonna see the end result. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap the video now, just so we know that this was the 2 hours of vibe coding. So yeah, I'd always stopped for a while, but things were running in the background. All right, so closing thoughts about Verdent, or however you spell that. This was a truly amazing experience. It has its quirks, like there was some weird bugs, the UI, but I know this is not, again, I think it's not about the tool because I'm pretty sure I can replicate this workflow now with other agents. Like I can probably use a Cloud Code or whatnot. But just the fact that there's a tool that's tailored to this, work tree workflow, it's amazing. I think it changed my perspective on vibe coding. Again, I think there are like a scale of AI assistants, right? So there is the really pair programming just with the out code completion. So the code completion, I think, in next tab edit, I think is like I am the one driving, like pair programming. I'm the one driving, and then there's this assistant that, hey, maybe this is the thing that you do. You just type really fast. So it's a more like I'm in control. I'm doing the changes. It's just like a speed bump. And honestly, a lot of times this gets annoying because it shows up. I think Zed does this auto completion really well, where you can change to the subtle mode, where when you want, hey, give me your tip, then you show it. But yeah, there's this level. On the other end of the spectrum is the fully automated. I don't even have things running my computer. I'm delegating through my phone maybe, or things like it's on a loop, getting the issues on whatever and then executing them. And then when you go to the middle, we have the traditional agent mode. And I complain about a lot of the tools that didn't give you a lot of visibility because they were not great for the more pair programming kind of experience where, but it is a pair programming where the agent is the one coding and I am the, on the back seat, I'm steering it, but the driver, it's a weird thing, but the driver is the agent, right? I just like, okay, let's do this other thing next. But I'm constantly reviewing the code that is generating, and it's a more like an active programming experience. For example, this is my main takeaway. Like if I want to choose between Cloud Code and Codex, I use Cloud Code when I want to be in the loop more constantly. Cloud Code makes more mistakes, but I feel it's a little bit faster. I think it's great at repetition. But Codex, for me, was like, yeah, it takes a while. It has to think about a bunch of things, but normally the end result is great. And I liked it for, and honestly, this is like high level view, and this is my vary. But point is, there are some tools and some models that I prefer for delegate and check it back again. And there are others that I feel that are more a close pair programming experience. So Verdent, bringing this multi-agent parallel thing to you, it brings it closer to the idea of cloud agents, which is where Codex, not the Codex CLI, or Jules from Google, or Devin AI, Cursor cloud agents, though they used to be Cursor background agents, and Claude Code Web. I think Claude Code Web might be a little bit in the middle, but those are the tools that are like you delegate a task and then you review it. With this thing, it's kind of like I'm in the middle. I'm in my own machine, so there are some shared resources, which is probably more cost effective in a way. And most of the cost is probably going to be the AI calls. But yeah, it brings this almost like cloud agent experience to your own local development environment. It removes the need of I now need to go to GitHub and then delegate something like all these other tools. Like they're like, oh, you can integrate with Slack, and then you delegate through Linear or whatever, which might be great for teams, but I think for a solo like founder or something, I do think that you probably want to you're going to be working mostly solo, right? So I think this is a great experience. I don't know how to explain. I think I still need some time to process, but this was a truly mind-blowing experience. Yeah, by the way, the two UI things that we just submitted already finished. I'm going to review them soon off camera. But yeah, this was a mind-blowing experience. I think it was an amazing thing to play around with. And honestly, even if I have like Claude Code, maybe for my pairing sessions, maybe this is still worth it. Like if I'm doing like a product and I'm delegating things, yeah, it was an expensive operation. Let me just check how many credits I used. So I used 237 credits in this session. So that is one third of the credits for a $20 plan. So that's like I spent $7 right in a few hours, but I coded so much. It was insane. So I think Verdent is like an S tier product. I'm just mine. I just my recommendation is just go ahead and try it. I don't see it replacing Cloud Code or all these other tools, just because the workflow is a different thing. I was much more vibe coding. You know what I mean? Like I was just like not even reviewing because the amount of code being generated is so much that I cannot possibly review that. So I became the bottleneck of reviewing the thing, right? Especially when things go in parallel. I'm not like reading how it's thinking. Now I have, when teams suffer that, right? Like that's why a lot of teams like to reduce the work in progress queue. So people pair program more, because when people pair program, they tend to be maybe more productive because they're like looking at the code and they both think and then correct mistakes more early. Where everybody's doing their own task creates this problem where when it comes to code review, everybody is a bottleneck. So it feels like that right now. I became the bottleneck. I guess the solution is I need to review, and they did the review thing here. But maybe if you combine these with something like CodeRabbit or some review tool, this can be an interesting combination. But it was much more hands off. This was much closer to what people call vibe coding. I've been calling this series vibe code with me, but honestly, I don't vibe code, as the term vibe code suggests, where you don't even know what you're doing. You're just like letting the agents do. I don't do that often, like in my day-to-day job. I did sometimes when I'm tired. I vibe code more instead of like pair programming with the agent. So here I felt more like this is the vibe code tool. To summarize, TLDR is a great tool, really interesting workflow. If you think about how to parallelize your work, can be really, really powerful, but you're going to become a bottleneck and you're likely going to just default to accepting whatever it throws at you. So I have this fear where you're not going to be, nitpicking too much, but it's probably one of the best options if you want to take something from 0 to 1 really fast. And with good enough quality, right? Like you just need to put a little bit effort into planning. So that's my take. It might have something to do that I put more effort in the planning phase here than other tools because I wanted to evaluate this multi-agent workflow. But yeah, that's it. That was the most interesting episode so far for me. I enjoyed it, and I hope you also enjoyed it. And if you enjoyed it, leave a comment down below. If you're not subscribed, remember to subscribe. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.